tonight with those storms ending eventually. But we're going to go back to radar here. I know Jason Perkin has a microphone on as well. I'm going to step out of the way and just see if he has any new information on this tornado warning in effect for Wapello County. And that's why we broke in to update you. And we're also seeing some strengthening with the storm complex just to the south of Des Moines as well. Jason, you want to tell me what you're seeing?
Yeah, if you take a look at Max 2 here, I've got the Des Moines radar velocity product up here. And the greens, as we've told you over and over the years, are indicating that velocity is toward the radar. The reds are away, so right in between is where the rotation area would be. So right now, just between Ottumwa and Agency, this storm is moving northeast at 25. It is indicating that strong rotation on radar. Now, this storm is quite a ways from the radar. Really, southeast Iowa, it would be ideal if they had their own radar down there, given the distance from Johnston where the radar is. But so the beam there cuts through that storm at about 8,000 feet above the ground, and even that high up, 8,000 feet up, it's seeing some strong rotation down there. Again, that storm movement is northeast at 25. As Jerry Ann mentioned, this is kind of the fringe of our viewing area, not really in our viewing area, but we know folks travel in that direction, and a few folks down there watch us, so we wanted to keep you updated. And of course, you know, anything today, the way the atmosphere is set up, anything today that's south of I-80 has the potential to rotate like this storm does, and that's why we're all here today. Ed Wilson, chief meteorologist, just walked in, and we'll be keeping an eye on all of these storms today. Weather Service, Jerry Ann just mentioned the cluster of storms that's kind of moving over our metro and just moved through, produced an outflow boundary, and that's moving to the south and east, so we'll have to watch that boundary as well. But it really looks as if southeast Iowa is where the main threat for tornadoes is going to be today, Jerry Ann.
Yeah, I'm going to show you on Max 1 here where that outflow boundary is located right now, and it is really just to the south of Des Moines. I'm going to circle it and then I'll zoom in closer. South of the Winterset area, right along Highway 169, also Highway 69 here, just to the south and east of Des Moines, and that's where we're seeing some indications, some very strong winds. And something else that I'm noticing here, if I put this into radar for you, is that line setting up similar to a bow where it's bowing out, indicating some pretty strong winds. I'm also going to just walk you through some of these strong storms. Again, this is a tornado warning in effect near the Ottumwa area in Wapello County. Again, we have strong to severe thunderstorms just to the south of the city of Des Moines. In between Norwalk, Martinsdale area is where it is raining and a fairly intense thunderstorm. And then some strong winds around St. Charles, Indianola, more rain around the Mitchellville area. We're watching the storm around Carlisle at this point as well. That's mainly just rainfall. That's a thunder and lightning. We were watching a storm earlier pretty strong around the Greenfield area. That has now passed that small community, and it's moving right along Highway 92 as these storms advance off to the east, northeast. Messina experiencing a thunderstorm as well.
Jerry Ann, I do see, you know, obviously the rotation in that storm near Ottumwa, and also the storm that's south of Ottumwa down by Bloomfield. I don't see at this point rotation in anything up in any of these storms that's closer to the metro in that arc from Polk County over toward Atlantic. So right now, just general thunderstorms. Of course, you're going to have big downpours. Let's see, we have a new one here, new tornado warning for Marshall County. I'll zoom in on that here.
Yeah, I see that for southern Marshall and northeast Jasper County. Let's go over and check out that storm. Now a tornado warning in effect for this area shaded in red. This includes the area right around the Newton area. And again, this tornado warning is in effect now until 3:15. At around 2:28, which is the current time, this severe thunderstorm was producing a tornado, and it was located near the Lambs Grove area and 5 miles west of Newton, moving northeast at a speed of around 15 miles per hour. We're going to put a track on this just so you can see exactly where it's located, but it's near Newton and Lambs Grove. And again, those are two communities right now. If you are hearing my voice, we do want you to get to your safe spot, which is put as many walls between you and the outside. Get to your safest spot right now, as it is right along I-80. Are you seeing the rotation potential with this storm, Jason?
So just on the chat with the Weather Service here, and I was just confirming what they were saying there. The rotation in this storm, and I'm going to move to the velocity here, is really easily seen. The higher off the ground you go, that's where the strongest rotation is. So right now it would be southwest of Newton, and it's aloft, so it's a couple of radar cuts above the surface, but a lot of times that rotation can move on down to the ground. So right now, let's see, I'll draw it would be kind of right in this area aloft is where the strongest rotation is. And again, that can translate down to the surface pretty quickly if you're looking at max 2 there. The movement, I believe, is northeast at 25 on this. Let's see here. So it would take it off in that direction.
Northeast at 15 right now.
So
real
pretty slow. If you're in Newton, definitely take shelter, go to your tornado shelter. That's the most prudent thing to do right now with this rotation indicated in this storm. I'm going to check some of the lower cuts on the velocity here to see if any of that rotation, I mean, you can see it at the surface, it's stronger aloft, but again, it doesn't take long for that rotation to make its way down to the ground. So this is the way the afternoon's going to go, I think, Jerry Ann, is as these storms go up, they're going to start to rotate in this environment. And we'll see more of these tornado warnings as the afternoon goes on.
I agree. So it's real important. We want to go through tornado safety, and I have that located right here. But just a quick reminder, it's been a while since we've had this type of weather move across the state. And again, the best place to be, obviously, the basement in your home. That is the best place to be, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. And we're on air right now because of this tornado warning in effect. And again, it includes parts of Marshall and Jasper County. This would be off to the east of the Des Moines metro area. But again, right along I-80 at this point is where the biggest chance for rotation is. But a very strong storm at this point, and it is dropping some significant rainfall, so that's making it difficult to see as well. Now, we're not hearing that it was confirmed by spotters at this point.
Correct.
But they are using the language that it is not just necessarily radar indicated, which gives us some indication that they heard from somebody that they are seeing some rotation on the ground. Jason's looking at other information to see if there's any indication that it's picking up debris from the strong to severe thunderstorm as well. But I'm going to widen out the view here just so you can see all the different storm complexes developing across the state. We've been watching areas along and south of I-80, and that's where a frontal boundary is located, and we have a low pressure system spinning, lots of thunder and lightning popping up. And I can tell you the strongest storms right now around the metro area are located to the south and east. We're seeing a few more pop up around the Creston community. Again, we still have that tornado warning in effect around Wapello County as well. But the strongest storm located near Newton. And I'm going to put in the motion here so you can just see how these storms are tracking off to the east, northeast. A few more popping up near the Carroll community, but again, these are not strong to severe at this point. The areas I'm going to circle on this map are the areas that have been experiencing some sunshine here this afternoon, which is obviously fueling these storms. So we could see more even redevelop right here around the Creston, Sheraton community as well.
Rotation is southwest of Newton, and you can see that that area. I've got that at the beginning of the storm track on the Max 2 computer. And again, the movement is northeast at 15. So folks in Newton definitely want to be in their safe spot as this storm moves northeast. The rotation at the surface is there. It's not particularly strong. It's indicated on the radar a little bit higher up is where you can really see the rotation in this storm. So the potential is there for that rotation to make its way down to the surface. So definitely in the Newton area, Lambs Grove area, you want to be in your safe spot as this storm moves northeast at 15.
To me, it's not like textbook material tornado,
No.
but I would say definitely near I-80, which is very concerning for this time of the day as well, since it's a busy time on the interstate.
And the speedway.
Oh yeah, the speedway, as Ed Wilson just got in as well and just was telling us, a big reminder, lots of folks are outside right now with the speedway going on as well. So overall, I would say what we're seeing on radar doesn't look strong necessarily in this area, but it's just in an area where the ingredients are so high that we could see this strengthen and then weaken and then strengthen once again. But we're looking at areas right around the city of Newton. I'm showing the Iowa Speedway right here. This is Interstate 80 just to the south as well. The heaviest band of rain is located right over the city of Newton right now, where the Speedway is located just to the south of the interstate. Not as much rain just yet.
Again, not seeing a lot of rotation on radar at the surface. We do have video of tornado sirens going off in Newton, and that's good news. That's the way things should be over there. Okay, this rotation, Jerry Ann, has strengthened quite a bit southwest of Newton there.
Okay, all right.
So
I'm going to go
its way
over
down to
to the
surface.
wall here just a second, and we are pinpointing this for you right along Highway 6 right here is where we're the most concerned, and again right along I-80 as well. And this is where that tornado warning is in effect around the Newton community, and this tornado warning will remain in effect until 3:15. It includes parts of Jasper as well as Marshall County, and our latest indication as we look at stuff probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense to you, but it makes a lot of sense to us, is showing that storm system now strengthening. And that was a big concern right along the interstate and south of I-80 here this afternoon, as we do have all the ingredients in place for all modes of severe weather. Unfortunately, we've been watching strong to severe thunderstorms just continue to pop up. Lots of thunder and lightning, an outflow boundary now located just to the south of the Indianola area. I know Ames dealing with some very heavy rainfall in the last hour. Now, I really don't think Ames area will be seeing these strong to severe thunderstorms necessarily, as they've been experiencing some rain-cooled air. And we have some more thunderstorms developing right around Waterloo and also the Altoona area. I'm going to step away here just a second so I can gather up some cameras to look at so you can see hopefully right along the interstate. And Jason Parkin has some new information as well.
Yeah, so again, that velocity scan on the radar is showing stronger rotation now just southwest of Newton, moving toward Newton. As Jerry Ann was showing you, you can see a hook on the radar there. So folks in Newton, get to that safe spot. This is headed in your direction. That rotation that was strong aloft is now showing up at the surface. And again, we're watching areas basically along and south of I-80 today. The environment is primed for rotating storms. This storm moving northeast at 15, so fairly slowly. We haven't heard any reports of anything on the ground. Jerry Ann, I was looking at the radar product that shows us the possibility of debris in the atmosphere. I'm not seeing anything there right now, which is good news. But again, take this warning very seriously, this storm moving northeast.
I'm going to go back here to Max 1 so I can show you and point out to you exactly what we're seeing here. Again, this is a tornado warning. In effect, we're most concerned around Newton, the Iowa Speedway, obviously. And what we're looking for is this hook. And we're starting to see more of that develop right now, right along Highway 6 and near the interstate. And that's why these areas remain under that tornado warning. And it's continuing to track off to the east-northeast at a speed of around 15 miles per hour, which is extremely slow as well. Big picture continues to indicate more showers and thunderstorms advancing off to the south, and those are just south of the Des Moines metro area. Lots of thunder and lightning popping up with these very strong storms as well. And the best place to be right now is obviously in the basement, but I have a feeling some of you may be hearing from your loved ones at this point saying, hey, what's going on? I'm getting close to Newton. I'm hearing the sirens go off. I'm hearing about this tornado warning, and it is valid. What we're seeing right now is indicating some rotation with the storm system. It may be very difficult to see, obviously, because of the heavy rainfall coming down as well. But I do want to stress, based on what we're seeing on radar, it would be located right here, right on the west side of the Newton community, and also near the interstate as it tracks off to the east-northeast. And it will continue to move through parts of Jasper and Marshall County here within the next half hour to hour.
Jerry Ann, right now in central Iowa, that's really the only storm showing indications of rotation of all the storms out there. We still have the warning down near Ottumwa, which is not really in our viewing area. I know a few folks watch down there, but in terms of our viewing area, this is pretty much the only game in town. Again, I'm not seeing indication of debris. We're not hearing anything on chat in the way of a tornado or a funnel cloud being reported. But for now, still, you want to take this warning very seriously.
Yeah, and I'm going to back it up and just show you the metro area as well. Where that storm that is located right around the Newton area, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning for Davis County as well, and that was one in the southeast corner of the state. Again, we've probably been making a bigger deal of southeast Iowa today just because they did have more fuel there, more sunshine, more warmth, higher dew points as well. You can see that severe thunderstorm warning, and I widen out the view just so you can see Missouri as well. We do have more strong to severe thunderstorms there, and I'm going to put this into motion just so you can see the big picture with the storm system on how these storms are developing over parts of Missouri right now and just firing up here in the last half hour or so and advancing right along that frontal boundary. And that's going to continue to produce more showers, thunderstorms, and strong to severe weather over the next couple of hours. This is showing the state of Iowa with that tornado watch in effect until 9 p.m. for all the areas shaded in yellow. The pink is indicating that severe thunderstorm watch for northern Iowa, and we have 2 tornado warnings in effect. Again, the one right around the Newton area and the other one moving out of the Ottumwa community as well.
So the rotation would be pretty much, well, we're still about a mile southwest of Newton on radar, but it's getting closer to the city itself. Again, haven't heard any reports of anything confirmed.
I'm going to go.
Just also talking with Gabe Pro. We do have a crew over there for the Newton area for the raceway. Of course, Adriana is going to be there this afternoon and evening, and they've already set off the tornado sirens. She's sending us video of that back, but we'll hope to get there live pretty soon. But also, there's some concern that again we're looking at that rotation. Somebody mentioned maybe a debris ball, but I have not seen any of that kind of
I don't see
debris signature.
It would be, so if you go to Max 2. I'm showing you here the area where the rotation would be, and then the arrow indicating the movement of the storm. If there was debris in the storm, it would be kind of right around this area here, and I'm not seeing it in that blue circle right now. We're going to continue to keep an eye on that. Nothing in chat that indicates anything there. This is a rotation track, and it doesn't stand out well on this particular map, but it'd be right through this area where the rotation has been. That light green, that's the path that we've seen the rotation on. Some of that rotation has been aloft, but again, it's inbound right toward the city of Newton.
Okay, I am told we do have a camera we can go to. Now, this is over the speedway at this point in Newton. And this is just looking over the speedway, so you can't necessarily see the sky. But what I like most about this image right now is the fact I'm not seeing anybody in it. So that means everyone is seeking shelter. And of course, this is the area right now that we're most worried about because a lot of people are outside. And we do have that tornado, what looks like a tornado on radar located just to the west of the Newton community. And that would be just north of Interstate 80, tracking off to the east-northeast at a very slow speed at this point. I'm curious if production can look at any of the cameras along I-80 to just show us. It would probably
tell them, Jerry Ann, look at mile marker 161, if they can grab that one by any chance.
We've been getting some pictures on our chat here just indicating some lowering of the clouds, but it really doesn't look like, based on what we're seeing on these pictures, would be a tornado picking up debris. So that is some good news overall. Now, this is the latest scan, which actually does look like this is getting a little bit stronger around the Newton community. We're going to take you here now to Interstate 80, and this would be at mile marker 161 at this point. Looks like traffic moving along just fine, but again, I do want to stress where we are seeing this rotation potential. It is just north of the interstate at this point, but you can see some dark clouds there in the distance and a bit of a lowering as well, but nothing overly concerning from this shot.
Max 2 again shows where the rotation is on radar at this time. Again, we've had reports of a lowering in that storm, so the part of the storm that could possibly produce a tornado lowering toward the ground. We haven't had any reports of funnel clouds, or certainly not of tornadoes. This warning continues for another half hour as it moves northeast at 25. I'm also looking at debris, that blue circled area. If there was debris there, you would see kind of a dark blue area where the hook is, and I'm just not seeing that.
Just confirming too with folks that are over in that area, there's not been a funnel cloud sighted yet, so nothing that has been spotted, radar indicated all at this point. So again, just want to make sure that we're taking an abundance of caution for a lot of people that are going to be on that interstate getting in and out. Thankfully, tomorrow it looks much better for the raceway, but tonight is a big night, and people trying to get in and out of there, it's going to be problematic for a while.
All right, we're going to go back through everything here for you. First, the tornado warning in effect. And again, that includes parts of Jasper and Marshall County. And that's why we're on air with you right now at 2:45 in the afternoon. What we're seeing on radar, the strongest part of the radar, is right here on the west side of the Newton community. And that is showing what we like to look at as a hook. And then we look at the other levels of the atmosphere to see if there is some rotation there as well. And that's what we're seeing. But based on people on the ground, they're not necessarily seeing this touch the ground just yet. So that is really good news, and that is north of the interstate. But again, if you are in this red box, and I'm talking to folks around the Newton community, obviously, that's where we want you to be in your safe spot right now. That's where the tornado warning is in effect, and because of that storm. That is now located just to the east of the Des Moines metro area. We did have some thunderstorms pop up around the Ames area. Still some thunderstorms popping up on the south side of Des Moines. We also still have this tornado warning in effect for southeast Iowa, and the strongest storm in the metro area right now is located on the southeast side in between Des Moines and right around the Indianola area. We have a few more thunderstorms popping up around Winterset, and also another one popping up around the Greenfield area. And we have even more popping up over parts of Missouri right now. But this area right here in between Creston and Sheraton is where we are anticipating some more thunderstorms to fire up over the next hour to 2 hours. And we're also watching this band in between Waterloo and the Newton community starting to bow out, producing some very strong winds as that also advances up to the east northeast. So we do not have great ingredients in place today for some calm weather, but I do think if you did experience a lot of rain-cooled air like the Ames, Fort Dodge area, you are probably not going to see more redevelopment of these strong to severe thunderstorms. This is showing the boundary developing off to the south right now. We have a tornado watch in effect for the metro area, all the areas shaded here in yellow up until 9 o'clock. We also have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect up until 8, 9 o'clock. And again, this is where we have the worst ingredients in the state for all modes of severe weather in that southeast corner. But again, some strong winds will continue to be a concern. Some rotation potential will continue to be a concern over the next hour to 2 hours. We're now at about 2:47 in the afternoon. At 4 o'clock, we're still anticipating some more strong to severe thunderstorms moving through parts of the state, dropping some very significant rainfall. Eastern Iowa, southern Iowa is the target here the rest of the afternoon. Things calm down by 8, 9 o'clock tonight. So this is a look at the specifics on that tornado watch in effect. That includes the city of Des Moines, Creston, Sheraton, Ottumwa up until 8 p.m. This is that severe thunderstorm watch just because we are not close to the low pressure system, and these communities so not much is rotation with these storms, and then that flood watch continues just with several inches even possible. We continue to watch our cameras from across the state. This one is a live look at Waukee. It is dry, it is calm, dark clouds, 79 degrees, 82 is what it feels like, and the winds are out of the northwest. Our biggest concern is in southern Iowa, where you can see it is noticeably warmer. That's where we have the highest dew points located as well, and that is also where it does feel the warmest, so our instability is the highest there. I'm going to take it back over to Jason Perkin to just update you on the tornado warning, and Ed Wilson.
Adriana, she is over at the Newton Speedway, is on the phone with us right now. And you can, again, know why we're calling you today, to make sure that everybody's safe over there. But what are you seeing right now? And did you hear the sirens going off?
Yeah, well, I'm at Iowa Speedway, and they were doing some practicing out on the track for the Indy Next race. So the drivers were out there. A few sprinkles started coming down. And, of course, with a few sprinkles, they can't go in the rain, so they had to stop racing. Well, no big deal, right? But about 15 minutes ago, so at 2:35, the siren started going off. Some people chatter saying, I think there's a tornado warning. And then, of course, we heard the siren. Everyone going outside, checking out the sky. No rain right now, at least. The sky's looking pretty dark, pretty ominous. The clouds coming through. I haven't seen any signs of an actual tornado itself or any of that formation. However, the siren has been going off for about 15 minutes here. Just about 5 minutes ago, you know, everyone was outside checking out the sky. About 5 minutes ago, they told all of the media, all of the pit crew, even some of the drivers, to take shelter. So that's what we're doing right now inside of this small little media center. Pretty much everyone crowding in here. There's even some drivers that are taking shelter with us in here. And then, of course, it's a family-free day there. So there's some fans out there as well. They're told to take shelter, obviously get out of the grandstands once they first saw lightning about 45 minutes, an hour ago. So right now we're all just taking shelter. The siren has been going off for about 15 minutes straight here, and just hoping for the best here in Newton at the racetrack.
Well, we're glad you're in your safe place again with a lot of your newest, closest friends. I'm sure everybody is packed in there. We can hear the background noise with those folks as well, but we are hoping that this continues to move to the northeast, and I'm glad that they did have the warnings going, and trying to get people corralled in an open space like that is such one of the biggest headaches when you have severe weather going on. We're glad you're safe. Adriana Flores over in that at the Speedway. Thank you so much. We'll be checking in with you later and look forward to your reports tonight.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
I'm going to go back and point something out here on Max 1. And again, we have this tornado warning in effect around the Newton community. But notice where the Iowa Speedway is right here. And she said, for the most part, they're not seeing anything there. The strongest part of the storm is located north of the Iowa Speedway. But because it is so close, this area remains under the warning as it continues to move rather rapidly, or slowly, I should say, off to the east-northeast. I need production to do me a favor. I just got a text from a viewer that's on the Interstate 80 near 164, mile marker 164, and they said looking to the southwest, they could notice a funnel cloud there in the distance as well. So if there's any way we can show those cameras right along the interstate, that would be super helpful. Again, this is the strongest storm we are seeing on radar.
Yeah.
And everything else is below severe weather criteria at this point.
It's really the only one with any sign of a rotation in it.
And Wapello County has been canceled for that tornado warning.
Okay, that's good news. All right, I'm going to give you an update on the weather forecast here. That tornado warning for around the Newton community stays in effect until 3:15.
Yep.
We're going to stay on air until that threat has been completely lifted, just because it is a situation right now where a lot of people are outside, and I'm guessing that is why they're being extra cautious as well. And again, that tornado warning in effect until 3:15 for Jasper County. And this is a closer view of where the Iowa Speedway is and the strong to severe thunderstorm. And notice some roads here where that strong thunderstorm is located at this point. North 19th Avenue East, and that would be in the city of Newton right now. I'm also going to put a track on this just so you can see where the strongest storm is located and headed. And again, moving northeast right around 15 miles per hour. That is extremely slow.
And I am glad this is a weak storm because that
Me
rotation
too.
track went right over Newton.
Yeah, me too.
Very thankful.
All right, and that just moves into a rural area as it tracks slowly off to the east-northeast, but that would be in Jasper County, north of the Kellogg area. Again, Kellogg is missing out on this storm at this point. Baxter experiencing some rainfall, Colfax all dealing with some rainfall at this point as well. And around the city of Des Moines, I'm just going to go back to the metro in case you're just joining us right now. We have tornado watches still in effect here tonight for areas along the interstate and just to the south as well. And Indianola, just a scattered shower and thunderstorm. We've been watching the Greenfield area today as some strong thunderstorms continue to fire up in between Messina and Greenfield. Again, no rotation with that storm right now. Around the Winterset area, we've got more rainfall. I'm going to put this into motion just so you can kind of see the big picture of what's going on. We have a band of rainfall in between Carroll and Atlantic, the strong to severe thunderstorms around Newton in eastern Iowa, and some more activity riding right along the southern part of the metro area at a very busy time. It is now 2:54 in the afternoon, and this tornado warning remains in effect until 3:15.
Max 2, I've got the latest velocity scan. You can see the area northeast of Newton, and to be honest, on the lowest scan, I'm not seeing rotation there. I'm seeing convergence. As the arrows indicate there, you've got the greens headed toward the radar in Johnston and the reds headed away. There may be rotation aloft still in this storm, but for now, this does not look to be at the surface a rotation situation. Still, that can change quickly, and folks northeast of Newton, northwest of Kellogg, you need to be in your place of shelter until this warning expires at 3:15.
And I do think the next couple of hours do remain very unsettled enough that we do want you to just stay weather aware. If you're sitting right now in your home and you're thinking, well, I'm not anywhere close to Newton, we still think we will continue to see more showers and thunderstorms develop here over the next couple of hours, as we do have a low pressure system spinning just to the south, and that's advancing right through the state. We're seeing some sunshine break through around Creston, Lamoni, Sheraton. Again, the focus right now is in eastern Iowa, right in between Waterloo and the eastern suburbs, and near Newton and the Grinnell area is where the strongest storm is located. And
I don't see much else in the way of rotation in the viewing area at this time.
That's great news.
That is good news.
That's great news. I'm going to go back, though, and track this for you and just show you a few other things going on. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch over Missouri, a few more strong to severe thunderstorms popping up over Missouri, and I think those are headed for that southeast corner of the state. We can't stress enough, that's where we are seeing the highest dynamics for strong to severe thunderstorms as we go throughout the afternoon. I think we're all in agreement, kind of letting the National Weather Service know that it does look like that storm, thankfully, around the Newton area is starting to weaken.
Yeah.
And it's almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but we do think we will be seeing a few more showers and thunderstorms developing around 4 or 5 o'clock, just south of Des Moines and just to the east of the metro area once again. And that's where we could be seeing some very significant rainfall develop and continue to lead to flash flooding concerns. So here at the top of the hour, I'm just going to go through just to remind you, there is a tornado watch in effect around Des Moines and areas to the south up until 8 p.m. We also have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for parts of northern Iowa until 9 p.m. And yes, also this flash or flood watch because of flash flooding concerns in effect until tonight as well. This tells you the current temperatures, where the warm front is located, and you can see it is off to the south. It is rain-cooled air all across northern Iowa. Algona sitting at 72, Audubon at 72. But notice Oskaloosa at 87 degrees. It is much warmer in southern Iowa, and even the dew points right now are extremely high there. Knoxville right now, your dew point's at 75. Centerville still extremely high. And that just screams to us that there is high potential here for some strong to severe thunderstorms to continue to develop here over the next couple of hours. I am seeing things really calming down across the state by 6, 7 o'clock at the latest. And here's the latest on that tornado warning for Jasper County right now. No more big threat, it looks like, around the Newton community, as the strongest part of that storm has now moved off to the north and east. I'm going to go in a little bit closer where we are seeing this hook associated with the radar return, and that is primarily in a rural area over Jasper County, and that would be near Highway T12 East and north of Highway 6 at this point. This is north of the interstate, far north of the Iowa Speedway. I do think the strongest storm is off to the north of the Speedway at this point. And we're also seeing another storm just to the north of Newton and right around the Baxter area. So it's just kind of in the heart of Jasper County, this strong to severe thunderstorm.
Still looks like a convergent type of signature rather than rotation there, northwest of Kellogg and northeast of Newton on Max 2. It just, at this point, it appears that the rotation has either lifted and it is aloft or has weakened for the time being, and that's good news. And as I mentioned earlier, that rotation track went right over the city of Newton. So
right over the Speedway as well. Just
yeah.
In that area, also as that storm kind of moved in, I think it kind of fell, almost tripped over another boundary that maybe broke it down just a little bit. But there is still that outflow down south of us that we're going into all that clear sky. These storms that are building up around the central Iowa area are pushing out these little outflows, so that could be elevating some of these storms just within a very, very short period of time. And as we go through the evening, everything is set up down there so well with all the heat, the humidity, and these little boundaries that are just keeping us very busy for a while.
You've got to go up pretty high in the storm to find the rotation right now. At the surface, again, it's just convergence near where that hook is that Jerry Ann's been showing you in this storm.
All right, we'll go back to just recap that tornado warning and show you exactly what we're seeing in terms of the hook. Now, earlier, this right here, this what looks like a tail on radar, was back around the Newton area. Again, now it is moving to the north of the Kellogg area. It is mainly over farm fields, and it is north of the interstate, north of Highway 6. Another wall of rain is starting to move into the Newton area as well. And it does look like some heavy rain showers right along I-80 and also right along Highway 14 there. And that storm will continue to move across Jasper County and deal with some flash flooding as a result of all the heavy rainfall recently. This tornado warning remains in effect for the next 15 minutes at this point, and that's why we're still on air, folks. We want to make sure you stay safe. We don't want you to be scared in these situations, and we want you to see what we're seeing. And at this point, this is the strongest storm located across the state, and I'm going to walk you through just that break in the clouds as well, just so I can show you what we're seeing in southern Iowa. This is indicating that tail right along Highway T12E and also near Highway 224 at this point, but north of the Iowa Speedway. It's about to get really wet once again at the Iowa Speedway. Probably some strong winds associated with this boundary as it continues to move off to the east. I'm also seeing another outflow boundary just to the north, or excuse me, the south of Des Moines.
Yeah.
And that's where some strong winds could be kicking up as well.
Yeah, it'll kick off more storms.
We also just have some video in from Adriana again down at or over in Newton, and you can see the video of everybody packed into the media center. As she said, it was not just media folks, but you can see pit crew people. Looks like some of the drivers, all those folks trying to stay sheltered in place, as we ask you to do. And it's so important when we have these outdoor venues where we are dealing with severe weather. It's a nightmare for them, but it is our top priority to make sure that everybody has a safe place to go. And look at that. As you're looking out those windows, which I'm sure that this is deemed a safe place, but the security guards staying there, maybe asking other people to stay away from the windows. But that was certainly some very angry looking cloud cover out there with that rotation, as we said, that was aloft. It was off the ground. We don't have anybody that is seen or spotted or given us a verification a tornado or a funnel cloud.
Nope.
So yeah, it was just above the ground, but thankfully they took the appropriate action and stayed inside.
Nothing in the viewing area rotating otherwise. And obviously today, as everyone has mentioned, void downpours are going to happen. We're going to have street flooding and things like that with these storms. And I'm sure the folks in Newton are going to have to wait out some heavy rain here as well at the Speedway as that moves on by. And then they'll have to get the track dried off and all that. And there's more rain out to the west as well, over by Carroll, down toward Harlan. And that's all moving toward central Iowa as well.
That tornado warning still in effect for about the next 15 minutes across the state. And I did want to take you back to radar just to show you a closer view of that system right around Newton. And those folks, we showed you video of the people at the Iowa Speedway looking out a window, which we highly do not recommend. But that would have been looking to the north of the Speedway. And again, the storm is moving away from them as well. Newton right now dealing with some very heavy rainfall in this tornado warning, but the greatest threat for rotation now is past the Newton community, but it's still sitting over Jasper County. And right here is the area of concern at this point. And it looks like mainly over a rural area. North of the Kellogg area, we're also seeing very strong thunderstorm as well. This is all the areas in that tornado warning. This is where the Iowa Speedway is located, just to the south of that very heavy rainfall and quite a lot of lightning and thunder as well. It has calmed down around the Ames area, but we did watch a strong thunderstorm move through that area during the noon show today. And we had some reports of it dropping as much as 2 inches in less than an hour. So that's not good for our already very saturated soils. This is showing a line of showers and thunderstorms developing right along I-80, a few more popping up to the south, and a few more strong to severe thunderstorms over the border there in parts of Missouri. Thunder and lightning all showing up at the east Mixmaster, fairly calm at the west Mixmaster at this point. And we have several bands of rainfall across the state. One right around the Carroll area, another one developing right along I-80, and then more thunderstorms popping up to the east. But I really want to point out here where I'm seeing the biggest concern over the next couple of hours. Southeast Iowa, just to the south of Ottumwa, that storm system starting to strengthen. But we're also seeing that sunshine breakthrough around the Creston, Sheraton area as well. And as this whole storm system advances up to the east, northeast, we could see even some stronger storms continue to pop up across the state.
Speaking of that, Jerry Ann, there's a cell that just went up by Newton, or rather Lamoni, and that's strengthening pretty quickly. I've got that on Max 2. Anything that goes up in that part of the state, as you know, today is really going to have to be watched down there in south central and southeast Iowa.
It's just in that perfect environment. Everything with all the heat, the humidity that we've had, and the extra rainfall that we had last night, and all the leftover of these storms last night. When they build up like that and develop, they leave tracks after they've gone back down, and that's where these storms are starting to line up, even with that outflow as well with these big storms. So everything is just pointing, all the ingredients there are for a very severe weather afternoon and evening.
The business end of that storm has pretty much exited the warning box of that storm over Newton. I don't know that they'll let it go to the full extent in 315 or not, but the part of the storm that was rotating is moving out of the warning box itself.
You know what? I'm guessing we have to wait for the National Weather Service to just give us the okay that they're saying, hey, we're done with this tornado warning that the storm system has weakened. But because there's so many storms popping up right now, it may be difficult to let us know that right at this moment. But again, that's why we're on air for you, just to keep you updated and ahead of these storms as well. And this tornado warning does remain in effect, as far as we know, here for the next 5 to 10 minutes. We're going to walk you through and show you a few more of the thunderstorms. The one Jason was just talking about near Lamoni, it's actually right around the Davis City area, right along Highway 69 at this point. So that thunderstorm just started to pop up. I'm also going to show you the outflow boundary I'm seeing on radar right now that shows this line of very strong winds just to the south of the Des Moines metro area. And that would be past Indianola, getting closer to Osceola. I'm going to bring up the Osceola camera just to see what we can see there. but it would be near New Virginia is where you start to be noticing these really strong winds. Also getting closer to Melcher, Dallas, heavy rainfall near the Winterset community, Earlham thunderstorm. It is below severe weather criteria right now. It's a thunder and lightning just to the south of Des Moines, close to the airport at the East Mixmaster Pleasant Hill. Dry in West Des Moines right now, dry right around the Waukee area. Reynolds dealing with some thunder and lightning. Newton obviously still dealing with that storm and still in that tornado warning as well. And that's had to have dropped some very significant rainfall for that community,
No doubt.
which is going to make it a really tough situation with the speedway, the campers, and all of that. This is some pretty typical July weather where the crops are starting to blossom, and that tends to put off some added moisture as well, which again can add to making it feel warmer than it actually is across the state. And we have numerous thunderstorm watches and warnings in effect, and we do have more warnings popping up over parts of Missouri as well. I'm going to walk you through, if you're just joining us now, it is now 3:08 in the afternoon, and we have a tornado watch in effect until 8 p.m. This includes the city of Des Moines, Creston, Sheraton, Lamoni, Oskaloosa, Ottumwa. We also have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 9 p.m., and that's for parts of northern Iowa. And you may be saying to yourself, well, how come the tornado watch is only in effect for southern Iowa? And that's just because that's where the best potential is for rotation and tornadoes here over the next couple of hours. We also have a flood watch in effect across the state, as we've been seeing numerous reports of some very heavy rainfall. I'm going to go back to our reports to see what's all been reported here so far. And this is over the last 24 hours, so lots of this is taken into consideration what happened overnight last night, and most of those tracked right along I-80.
Yeah, as that bow echo moved west to east across the state. And, we had the flood warning for the metro area and areas southwest last night, and these areas are getting more heavy rainfall today. So hydrologists watching the rivers and creeks around the area, watching for street flooding and things like that today as these heavier rain producers move through.
Okay, we just heard from Iowa State Trooper in the Newton-Jasper County area, and he is just letting the National Weather Service know that it is so difficult to see if there is a funnel cloud with these storms just because of the heavy rainfall associated with it. And again, the greatest threat right now has moved to the north and east of town at this time, but it is very difficult to see if anything is rotating within the storm.
We'll have to watch this part of the kind of a new appendage, a new hook perhaps down by Reasoner there, because it's right on the outflow boundary. There are some indications on radar that there may be rotation there, but we'll keep an eye on that. That is outside of the warned area.
I'm getting some pictures as well on our photo link line. I'll be posting those later. But again, some very intense lowering of that storm in Newton. This is from a view from a viewer who's actually on the I-80 as this was coming through, and Chloe is her name. She said that she did not see a funnel cloud. Again, this is again a very strong looking storm, but just verification that there was not a funnel cloud at that time.
Okay, yeah.
I am glad Jason pointed out around the Reasoner area, because we tend to see this, and our radar is indicating right now. I'm going to go over to the map just so you can see. This is a look at the Iowa Speedway right now. I-80, heavy rainfall hitting this area, blinding along the interstate. This would be at mile marker, it looks like, I believe it's 6, mile marker 6. That doesn't make sense necessarily, but anyway, it's right along I-80 near the Speedway, and you can see how slow the traffic is moving at this time. If we can take backup radar full, and I'll let you know what I'm seeing in terms of south of the Newton area, and again, right along the interstate. This is Highway 6. This is a Reasoner area. this is where we're starting to see more of a hook develop as well. So there could be some rotation potential as the radar did just start to update there, but heavy rainfall in between the Newton, Kellogg area and right along the interstate. Colfax still raining there. It does look dry in the Grinnell area, and I do want to mention this storm that we're seeing fairly strong now to the north of the Reasoner area is advancing off to the east northeast, but we're seeing fairly dry conditions in parts of southern Iowa at this point that could lead to more redevelopment.
Max 2, I've got just kind of a broad view of the state, and it's the southern part of the state, especially the storm down around Lamoni right now that we're going to keep an eye on this afternoon. That's where, and it really has a lot to do with the way the winds are structured aloft today. We have plenty of juice all over the state, and that's obvious. We've had this heavy rainfall the last couple of days because of all the heat and the moisture in the atmosphere, but to get a rotating storm, let's see, the Weather Service saying the tornado warning for Jasper will be allowed to expire at 3:15, so that's less than 2 minutes away. So some good news there. But it's that southern part of the state of Iowa that's set up the best to produce rotating storms today. We had the warning down around Ottumwa. We had a severe thunderstorm warning down around Bloomfield that was, as it moved downstream, upgraded to a tornado warning. So that's the part of the state where rotation is most likely to occur in these storms.
Okay, we've got about a minute left before we're going to take you back to programming. And just a reminder that we will break in if anything does strengthen or look like it is getting worse across the state. And we're going to continue to keep you updated with these developing storms as they continue to pop up. But we do have a live broadcast coming up at 4 p.m. as well. Again, still raining pretty intense around the Newton community, but the rotation potential is starting to weaken. Kellogg also seeing some very heavy rainfall, and we mentioned we're a little concerned here near the Reasoner area of some strengthening there. And we're also seeing a stronger storm develop now just to the north of the Davis City area, south of Leon. Again, a thunderstorm, a pretty decent thunderstorm that's moving into a very unstable situation at this point. We've got rainfall off to the north and west, more thunderstorms off to the north and east. In the metro area, it is all rainfall around the Winterset area. At the airport, some pretty decent rainfall, and in Altoona, very wet conditions. This is a look at the movement of the storms and this strong low pressure system. We call it a triple point, and we're seeing that just to the south of Iowa, pushing through the state, and that's what will continue to trigger even more showers and thunderstorms over the next couple of hours. I do think things will be calming down. You're in the all clear around the Ames community. We're most concerned right now about eastern Iowa and parts of southern Iowa, but again, some of these storms could continue to develop near the metro area as well as that storm continues to move off to the east. And I can promise you tomorrow at this time, it does look a whole lot calmer. But today we have all the ingredients in place for all modes of severe weather in that southeast corner. We'll continue to be watching for some rotation potential over the next couple of hours. I do want to show you when these storms will be moving out. Again, more rain expected around 4 or 5 o'clock in these same communities, but by 7 o'clock, it's primarily in eastern Iowa, closer to the Mississippi. By 1 o'clock tonight, a cold front makes its way across the state, and that will cool us down. But this tornado watch remains in effect up until 8 p.m. on this Friday. Please keep it right here. We thank you for joining us for our storm team coverage. Thankfully, we are not hearing any reports of damage from this storm right now, but if any of these storms do look strong to severe, once again, we will break in. So keep it right here to WHO 13. Again, we have a live broadcast coming up on the 4 o'clock news.